husband of 20 years is cheating on me with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend. I, 41 female, am a stay-at-home mom. My husband, 48 male, whom we'll call Paul, works in finances. Red flag number 1. We have been married for nearly 20 years. We have 2 kids, whom we'll call Eric, our 18-year-old son, currently a senior in high school, and Mary, our 15-year-old daughter. They are both lights in my life. My marriage with my husband has grown somewhat still over the years for a myriad of reasons, such as his work schedule and how I've aged poorly since we first met. Our son, Eric, has a girlfriend, 18 female, whom he's been dating since they were freshmen in high school. We'll call her Amy. Eric absolutely adores Amy. She's his first love, and she's someone I've always considered family. This makes the whole situation emotionally excruciating for me. Last week, I inadvertently saw my husband's phone screen and got a glimpse of a text thread between my husband and Amy, our son's girlfriend, and I read what looked like a message of her telling him that she misses sucking his private part. I froze in place in complete disbelief. I spent most of the day convincing myself that I must have misread what I saw. However, I didn't misread it because over the last several days, I discovered a file on his computer filled with tons of BDSM porn. He clearly has a porn addiction. He also has saved photos of Amy from her Instagram on his computer. Although they weren't inappropriate, she was fully clothed. It was still the proof I needed to confirm that I wasn't going crazy. I also looked at his phone during opportune moments and saw more of their interactions. I wish I had never looked. They were filled with mean, horrible things said at my expense, with him constantly comparing me to her. He would call me fat and old, among other things, with Amy LOLing. He's 48 and she's 41. The audacity of a man never fails me. A man could be like 100 and something years older than you and he'll still call you old and ugly. Like, what? I've always had hunches or paranoid feelings that Paul has been cheating on me, but never in a million years could I have fathomed something like this. Last month, I found a thong in our bedroom that I know wasn't mine. I turned a blind eye to it, being naive and acting like it was maybe our daughter's, even though that made zero sense. Not only is he cheating on me, but he's betraying our son. I'm completely devastated. I don't even think words can adequately describe the dread, anger, shock I feel right now. I'm totally overwhelmed on how to handle this because obviously actions need to be taken, but I'm terrified on what kind of psych blow this will be for my son. I have no idea how to even broach this completely effed up topic with him. I wouldn't wish this predicament on my worst enemy. I can't even believe I married this scumbag in the first place. And then my mind started to race, realizing that I started noticing specifically unusual behavior from him around the same time Amy turned 18. Was he waiting for her to turn 18 before pursuing this affair? There's so many layers to all of this, and I'm completely paralyzed with fear and dread about it all. None of it makes any effing sense. How did this happen? Am I that much of a stupid idiot that I let this happen under my watch? Eric adores Amy, and the thought of revealing this sickening truth to him terrifies me. The impact on his young heart and mind could be devastating. My heart aches for Eric and Mary, who are completely innocent bystanders. I haven't confronted my husband about this because I'm frankly scared of the domino effect. Update: I'm divorcing my husband. I told my kids and spoke with Amy's mom. My brother connected me to a very tough junkyard dog type of lawyer. I saved screenshots of all of his conversations with Amy. I was only able to get the last 3 months from iCloud. The conversations were mostly flirty and dirty talk. It was hard to stomach, completely sleazy, and I saw several negative things said about me. His call history showed he talked with her for hours pretty consistently. He uses dating apps. I took screenshots of all of his profiles, all of the active chats he was with his matches. It's very clear he uses filter to seek out girls who are 18 to 22 or so. I copied all of his files from the computer. He goes on intimacy chat rooms and forums, and he spends a ton of money on OF. I rummaged through every possible hiding spot I can think of in the house. He had various toys, blindfolds, cuffs, lubricants, etc. He also had different outfits which looked kind of like a girls' Catholic school uniform and a French maid type outfit too. I picked up Eric and Mary from school and we all drove to my brother's. They were able to sense something was wary when I picked them up. I delicately told them and the entire situation, and I broke down crying. Mary had the most anger, even more than Eric. I met with Amy's mother and told her everything. She confiscated Amy's phone and gave me the entire chat log. It only dated back 3 months ago, like my husband's cloud, almost as if they both deleted the messages at the same time. She told me Amy sobbed when confronted. Amy basically told her mother that she will never understand and that she and him are in love. I don't want to get into too many details with that all she was saying, but suffice to say, it's very easy to assume that my husband slowly and methodically became a sage-like figure in her life, making her feel she could rely on him, and he took advantage of the fact that she came from a broken home. Amy is also non-insistent that their friendship only became romantic physical recently, and before that she saw, oh my god, the fact that he knew her since she was 14 is crazy, or probably even more because they were neighbors. Anyways, and before that, she said he was more of a friend and mentor. I confronted Paul over Zoom. The look on his face was scary. He became red and looked so sweaty. He had anger and panic in his eyes. His tone of voice was very defensive and frightening. He kept yelling the word context over and over again, and that none of that happened. He was unable to speak without constant stutters and intensity. Nothing really made any sense to me. I refused to tell him where I was, and he said I had no right to take his kids away from him, and then he abruptly left the Zoom. But he had the right to sleep with his son's girlfriend? My lawyer is filing for temporary sole custody of Mary and a restraining order. Mary is still the most angry. She's totally furious with her dad and Amy, justifiably so, of course. Mary is recollecting moments and times she watched her dad interact with her friends, and she's in knots about it. Eric's very clearly hurting, but he's so strong and very level-headed. He wants to see a therapist. The maturity my kids are showing makes me proud. They don't deserve this at all. We made authorities aware of everything. I plan on being completely unforgiving and ruthless in this divorce. I'm reflecting on how I've been treated and how it's made me a shell of myself, and how I've had very negative opinion of myself because of him over the last 20 years. I don't want to let this scumbag get away with it. I want to reinvent myself and move on stronger than ever. Anyway, she made another update saying that her and her son got tested and they were both clear, and that she's still at her brother's house going through the divorce, and that Amy is still stuck over this man saying that nobody will understand their love and nobody can ever get in between them. So it just sounds like he groomed her basically, because that's just like something that's typical that someone who's been groomed would say. Because why in God's green earth would anybody with a normal brain want to be with their boyfriend's dad, especially some 18-year-old girl? But it's such like these type of stories, the fact that they happen in real life is so crazy to me, because it's so unfortunate. An entire man ruining his entire family. The 15-year-old girl, imagine like knowing that your dad was into little girls your age. 15 and 18 is basically the same age, to be honest. And now you're thinking all the time that your friends were over the house and what your dad was probably thinking. 18-year-old boy, that's literally his girlfriend. Why would he like, for him to cheat is one thing, but for him to want to sleep with his son's girlfriend, even though she's 18, like he could have found some other 18-year-old. The fact that this 18-year-old that he chose was his son's girlfriend is what's so like creepy and weird to me. Every time he slept with her, that's like he was sleeping with his son. That's nasty. Isn't that some, I don't even know what to call it, because that's just so disgusting. This whole entire thing is just very, very odd and disgusting, and it goes to show you that people cannot control their addiction. And people, well, that's why I said addiction, obviously, because you can't control it, but people are willing to do any and everything just to be satisfied, even if it means ruining their entire family for it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'll see you guys in my next video.